sure, but be shoot, but be sure he's alive. If he's dead, you get into the newspaper, then UN will come again and mas more, ayaw ko kasi because you know, you do not do that because you are interfering in the sovereignty of a country. I am now really very serious. Do not take away by just giving a stupid explanation because you are infringing into the territory of the sovereignty of the country. What would it be to you if I go to the UN and start lecturing to the employees there? You should do this, you should not do that. And I say, hey guy, this is the UN. This is the United Nations. And so, are you really united? United Nations. When was a United Nation ever really united? They could not control America, they could not control Russia, they could not control the bombings, they could not even plan of how. The problem with this UN is they send UN troops to protect the population. So the war goes out of control. So there's a little fighting, they started, and then the contending parties come in and fight a real war, slaughtering people, and they are not able to stop it. So the United Nations starts a war, but does not know how to end it. That's the problem. Alam nila kung paano mag-umpisa ng gera. Hindi naman nila alam kung paano tapusin. When Iraqi was being invaded, only very slim excuse that there were weapons of mass destruction. They were not able to stop the United Nations. Maybe you're guessing, guys. The truth has really come out. There was none at all. So, what happened to the country? The United Nations never stopped it. It allowed a war to start. Now they are climbing here and there to stop it. And you come and interfere in my country because there are now criminals killed or even people killed. There is not even a judicial finding that these guys were innocent or these guys were really the gangster. And you just count the bodies there and say that, the United Nations must come in. My God, do you really know what you are doing? Isinali pa sa yung presidente to give a word because you rely on the NGOs and there is a lady there who keeps on also prodding people. Pilipina yan, nandyan sa United Nations. Nagbibigay ng intriga. At tapos, ito namang newspaper na pick up, how many people were killed by that 600 or 3 million drug addicts. Do you have the count? We have. How many? More than the criminals that are killed today. And who are these victims? Wives, workers, students. And yet you only know how to count correctly when you are counting the carcass of these dead criminals. But not even a kind language or sentence of those who have died in the wake of a drug problem as serious as the Philippines. So the next time you issue it, I do not want to insult you. But maybe we'll just have to decide to separate from the United Nations. kung ganun kayo kabastos putang ina, umalis na kami dyan sa inyo. So take us out of your organization. You have done it and also. When were you here the last time? Never. Except to criticize. You done food world? Where? What's the food? There's the world, but there is no food. World Hunger Organization maybe. When have you done a good deed to my country? See, you are contributing money. We said, you remember? Okay, we go out. And I would invite everybody. I would invite maybe China, the African. You have not been able to stop it. I don't want the Middle East. Why don't they just form another organization? But you have to listen to this stupid threatening me with what? You want me to go to prison? I said, there are three stakes there. My honor, my life, and the presidency. Do not shit with me. Automatic agad ang read ako.
You're seriously contemplating on separating from the U.S. considering that you said
US, yes, because we have never been a member.
UN, sir, UN po.
UN. The joke is on you. You have to refund me with the so many contributions that we have made all these years. So, ano ninyo yung contribution namin? We would go out. We contribute a certain amount to the maintenance of the UN, right? You return the money to us and we will go out. I can build, with that amount, I can build so many rehab centers all over the country. But there was a time, I think, that a few countries really contemplated of going out. One was China. I do not know what's inside their minds now. But only because it's an affront when you do that. If it is really the Congress or the people of the Philippines would say that I am not doing enough, I would verily accept that. But you do not just throw that kind of allegation or statement without coming even here to just relying on the reports of the newspapers. That's what you do. That's what you do. Newspapers and these tabloids. And you make criticisms against remember that I'm not a mayor anymore. I represent the country. Kindly do not do it. So I'd like to talk to that said alleged expert of the UN. I demand that he comes here. Or if he wants, we can go somewhere else to a third country. Let him talk to me and let him face me with hard facts. Not newspaper clippings because unless it is edible, you do not do that to just go around insulting people. You know, United Nations, if you can say one bad thing about me, I can give you 10. But I tell you, you are an immortal. Because if you are really true to your mandate, you could have stopped all these wars and killing. 500,000 already killed in. But they go to call by attention. Nagpapadala ka dyan sa mga NGO, mga newspaper clippings and critical. All you do is to read editorials. What have you done for the world, Mr. United Nations? At yung tao na yung expert ninyo, let me, you know, if he comes here to tell him straight. Rodrigo Duterte would ask only 5 questions to prove that you are stupid. Only 5 5 questions. He will just ask you to answer 5 questions. And he will prove to the world that you are a very stupid expert. As if I did. I must remember, baka akala nito, I took AB Foreign Service. Check it out with Lyceum. Political science, then I add another one. Because I had an accident, so motors accident, one of the many. So, na-late ako ng isang semester. So may extra time I took Foreign Service. Consular practice and procedure, geopolitics, world trade, international trade. Baka ninyo kayo putang ina. Uy, mga ulol. Let's have a debate. Hindi nga ninyo ma-enforce yung mga order ninyo dyan, yung mga tapos-tapos yung patayan. Then you worry about the lives of criminal, with the bones of the criminals piling up. And so, how about the bones of the other guy on the side? Those who were killed innocently. Had we not stopped it, so the count will continue in favor of the criminals. Just imagine kung hindi, had I not been elected president. And the top narco general was the military aide of a presidential candidate. What would have happened to this country? Gentlemen and ladies, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And if somebody knows the song, All That I Ask of You, it's 3 in the morning.
Sir, bumabala lang sir.
Please let me go home.
Sir, hindi kayo magkaroon ng serious repercussions po yung statements na binigay nyo about UN just now, sir.
What is repercussions? I don't give a shit to them. They are the ones interfering. You know what? They should have started it with the protocol. No, they would have sent somebody to talk to me. Or at least the rapporteur. You do not go out and just give a shitting statement against a country. What repercussions? You have fallen short of the protocol needed for respect. And you want me to respect you. You must be a shit. Dapat ganun, presidente na ginaganon mo. Huwag mo munang ipadala dyan. Do not criticize immediately. Itong si Yutat naman, how do you pronounce the word? He should have written me a letter. Addressed to the Foreign Service. Mr. President, can we have your... My performance as a mayor has nothing to do with it. These are recent events. Ang bastos hindi ako. They should suffer the repercussions. You have not followed the basic rudiments of courtesy and protocol. Kayo yung bugok, hindi ako. I studied my laws very well. Look at my records, as mula sa'yo. Look at the subjects that I... Consular practice and procedure, international law, international trade and everything. Baka akala ninyo gago ako. At least, bagay, hindi kasing gago mo. Tell them that you observe protocol because if you do that directly, you are addressing yourself to me. Remember that I do not like to say it because I want to be called mayor still. I am a president of a sovereign country. Sabihin siya na, huwag kayo, mayroon ba silang representative dito? Tell them straight, bastos ka. Siya an American? Indian? Chinese? Ano? Filipino? Or what? Oh, America. Then this American, show your respect first. Show your respect. Because sabihin ko, let's start to criticize him. why are you Americans killing the black people there, shooting them down when they are already on the ground? Answer that question. Because even if it's only 1 or 2 or 3, it's still human rights violation. God damn, you tell that to that American there. Or better still, tell him that I will pay him a visit if there is time. You just tell me where I can find him. So, the mayor is asking where can he can see you. Ako pupunta doon. Gago. Ano niya lang? Ulol.
Bye!
Sabi mo ulol.